Hello, it's your friend CJ Werleman, and today we exposed Israeli and American efforts to cover up their respective losses in their failing war against Iran. But first, please remember to like and subscribe to our show, while also turning on notifications so you never miss a single episode. Now let's get into it. No major conflict since the First World War has been subjected to more media censorship than the Zionist Crusader War against Iran. And the reason for this is simple. Israel and the United States are not only taking a savage beating, but also losing control of every domain in which this battle is being fought. Which means an expansion of violence and bloodshed across the Middle East, further destruction to the State of Israel, a collapse of the entire global economy, and then ultimately the death of American empire itself. So forget what you're seeing and reading on Zionist-friendly media outlets, given they are operating under strict orders to not report the devastating impact that Iranian missile and drone strikes are having on Israel, the United States military, and its allies in the Persian Gulf. This truth is being deliberately hidden in plain sight for domestic political purposes, with the Trump administration banning independent journalists from White House and Pentagon press briefings, as the Israeli government threatens its citizens with jail time for posting footage of Iranian missiles slamming into the country, which explains why reports aired from Tel Aviv are heavily censored on CNN and Fox News.
Again, Iran continues to show an offensive capability, launching missiles at central Israel. We have one interceptor over my shoulder right now. We can't show you because we can't show landmarks, Martha, but something that has really changed here.
We're not showing you that because we're not going to show, the Israeli government does not allow us or want us to show where that may have come up, that interceptor. But I'm not.
This is why Trump and Netanyahu were furious when Fox News and other networks let slip that Israel is secretly panicked over dwindling supplies of US manufactured interceptor missiles for its Iron Dome air defense system.
We're seeing more drones penetrate our defenses than I think expected. We should be really honest with ourselves about that. That brings up, frankly, a larger issue that I've been talking about on this network for years. We have our critical installations around the world have been vulnerable. There are people in some of our own government offices who have failed the American people in purchasing failed equipment. That's why we're seeing some of these Shahid drones get through. Even one enemy drone getting through our defenses and striking a U.S. embassy overseas is unacceptable. And Martha, something, a cheap $20,000 Shahid forcing us to burn multi-million-dollar interceptors, starting fires currently at oil facilities and U.S. embassies, that's unsustainable math. Marco Rubio
As time goes by, and as the Israelis run out of defensive interceptors, interceptors that can knock down these incoming ballistic missiles, the amount of damage that Iran can do to Israel will be very great.
In the very first 4 days of this conflict, Iran destroyed or severely damaged nearly every US military base in the Middle East, which together took more than 70 years and billions of dollars to build and equip.
Sunday morning, an Iranian strike set a makeshift U.S. operations center at the civilian port ablaze. 6 American service members were killed in the attack. You can see smoke rising from the fire. The blown-out 3-wide trailer blackened on the inside. There are few signs of fortification. In another attack, a drone, this appears to be the Arash 2, crashes into U.S. positions in Camp Buehring. A building severely damaged. American helicopters parked inside the base were nearly hit. In Bahrain, a Shahid attack drone flies into the base that hosts the U.S. Navy's 5th Fleet, one of the largest American naval formations in the world. It looks alarmingly defenseless. The drone hits one satellite communication terminal, clearly seen here. But the scale of the damage is more obvious here, warehouses and other buildings damaged. And another satellite communication terminal destroyed in a separate attack. We see this pattern of targeting throughout the region. At least 5 satellite communication terminals were destroyed. It points to a possible Iranian effort to cut US bases off from the outside world.
Now that Iran has destroyed and degraded key radars and air missile defense systems, an overwhelming majority of US surveillance, interception, and air defense networks have been disabled in the region. effectively bringing down a security shield built over dozens of years. This radar blindness means Israel's airspace is now open for further waves of powerful Iranian attacks, as illustrated by an on-the-ground report from a Spanish journalist in Tel Aviv, who said Iranian missiles are now striking the city without detection or advanced warning.
Escucharse dos detonaciones, dos bombazos en la zona donde estamos, acaban de caer, en las inmediaciones del lugar donde estamos, dos bombazos, uno en la cercanía del aeropuerto. Estamos tratando de averiguar información, estamos otra vez en el refugio. Ha sido impactante y un detalle que nos ha inquietado mucho más: no sonaron las alarmas, así que esto nos ha sorprendido.
Put simply, Iranian firepower is now giving Israel the Gaza treatment, as the Zionist state is being hit on a scale that surpasses its worst imagined nightmares. Here's just a tiny sample of what Israel is desperate for its enemies to never see.
הלך סורוקה, בראש שלי משפיע לך. בסורוקה. טירוף מוחלט. תראו את האנשים. אנשים פנימה.
का जो इजरायलियन जो कि यहाँ पे हिमाचल चलाते हैं फूकने के लिए, उन्होंने बताया देयर वर 4 हाउसेस, नोबडी इज अलाइव। इससे पता लगता है कि बड़ी वहां घटना हुई। और मैं आपको सच बताऊं कि वहां का टेक्नोलॉजी जो कहने की बात है ना, अलार्म बजता था हम लोग को। एक दिन सुबह 5 बजे की बात मैं आपको बताऊं कि अलार्म बजा ही नहीं, बस धुड़ुम धुड़ुम की आवाजें आ रही थी। पता लगा कि बिना अलार्म की चीजें आ गई। तो टेक्नोलॉजी फेल है, और जब वो आपके ड्रोन्स और खासतौर से मिसाइलें दगती है ना, तो नहीं पता हमारे 200 मीटर से हम कितनी दूरी पे हैं। और अभी आपको पता लगा होगा कि खासतौर से मिडिल ईस्ट में सारे अमेरिकन एम्बेसी को उन्होंने टारगेट किया। हो सकता है कि तेल अवीव की इसको टारगेट किया था, तो हम भी नहीं।
Life for Israel and its Arab state allies have deteriorated so unexpectedly bad as a result of Iranian missile and drone attacks that the United States was forced to move air defense systems from South Korea to the Middle East during the past 24 hours. But if you're looking for hard evidence that accurately reflects the current scoreboard, then examine the way Trump and his Republican allies are trying to distance themselves from the decision to follow Israel into this war.
What is left? Why are we at war with Iran?
Great question. Yeah, great question. I mean, the simplest explanation, might be the one that they gave 24 hours in, that they've kind of tried to backtrack since then, which is that Israel made us do it.
On Tuesday, Trump, who typically steals and claims exclusive credit for every piece of good news, no matter how minor or absurd, began blaming his son-in-law, Jared Kushner, property developer Steve Witkoff, and former Fox News host Peter Hegseth for leading him into this war.
The situation was very quickly approaching the point of no return, and the United States found it intolerable, in my opinion, based on what Steve and Jared and Pete and others were telling me, Marco, so involved, that I thought that they were going to attack us. I thought they would, if we didn't do this at the time we did it, I think they had in mind to attack us.
Iran is acutely aware that Trump has boxed the United States into a corner and with no easy exit in sight, which is why Tehran has responded to US pleas for a ceasefire or return to negotiations by telling Trump to shove his so-called peace talks by saying, "You may have started this war, but we will be sure to finish it on our own terms."
Right now, you're saying Iran does not want a ceasefire.
We are not asking for a ceasefire. And we don't see any reason why we should negotiate with the US when we negotiated with them twice, and every time they attacked us at the middle of negotiations. So there is no request for a ceasefire by us, and there is no request for the negotiation with the US from us. We have never sent any messages to them.
Iran is not only destroying billions of dollars worth of American military bases and equipment throughout the region, but also literally driving the United States out of the Middle East, which was an unthinkable reality just a few weeks ago. Both Trump and Netanyahu wrongly gambled that air power alone would dislodge the Iranian regime, a miscalculation that was summed up perfectly by Professor Robert Pape, who says Israel and the United States have bitten off more than they can chew. A sentiment echoed by former CIA analyst Larry Johnson, who says Trump made the ultimate sin of underestimating Iran's capabilities.
I wish I was coming to you with happier news. This attack by the United States is unprovoked. The United States, I believe, is going to pay a terrible price for this. They entered this attack thinking it would be short-lived, that we'd be able to quickly decapitate senior leadership, and then the war would be over in short order. They failed, utterly failed on the part of intelligence to accurately count the capability of Iran with respect to its ballistic missiles. And as a result, Iran is going to be able to keep up this pace of attack on U.S. bases and Israeli facilities for quite some time.
In any war, the odds of victory always favour the home team, a reality underscored last week by the US intelligence community, when it released a report saying Trump's plan for Iran is doomed to fail, a staggering assessment that means the Zionist Crusader war against Iran has no achievable objective, which means every missile fired from this point forward is a total waste of human life and money, notwithstanding the fact that this war cost American taxpayers $5 billion in the first 96 hours alone, money that could have been spent fixing the country's broken healthcare and education systems.
Here we are well into the second week, and it is still the case that the Trump administration cannot explain the reasons that we entered this war, the goals we're trying to accomplish, and the methods for doing that. The one part that seems clear is that while there is no money for 15 million Americans who lost their health care, there's $1 billion a day to spend on bombing Iran.
Instead, this money has bought only more failure and humiliation in a foreign land, as Israel and the United States stare down a strategic, tactical, and political defeat, which is why Trump's call for total surrender has only been met with even more Iranian firepower and resistance. Tehran's decision to close the Strait of Hormuz was the ultimate you, a move that has already inflicted a heavy economic blow on the American people and American allies, a cost that continues to increase significantly by the day for both Israel and the United States. A cost that will soon rocket further upwards as Iran begins laying mines in the vital energy corridor.
Iran has begun laying mines in the Strait of Hormuz. This is according to two people familiar with the matter. It's another major complication as the world's top oil exporter warns there could be, quote, catastrophic consequences for oil markets if the conflict keeps disrupting ship and oil tanker traffic through the strait. He says beyond upending shipping and insurance, the ongoing disruption could snowball, threatening aviation, agriculture, and other industries.
This is Trump finding out the hard way why all 7 US presidents that came before him chose against launching a war against Iran since the Iranian Revolution of 1979. His hubris and arrogance is why the United States is now staring down the same barrel of a gun that collapsed the US economy in 2008, when a spike in oil prices sent the cost of living and household debt rocketing upwards.
When oil hit about $122, $123 a barrel, in early 2008, we had food riots, you recall, in 22 countries. When oil hit $147 a barrel in July of 2008, all the prices across the supply chain for everything we buy went through the roof. And in that month, July 2008, purchasing power shut down all over the world.
It seems that everything is costing more.
Food costs expected to rise 4% this year.
Just 60 days after oil hit $147 a barrel, for the first time in history, the stock market fell a record 777 points in a single day.
The worst day on Wall Street. The market fell as if down a well.
We're down over 16%.
Because we're now down 43%.
The Dow traders are standing there watching in amazement, and I don't blame them.
And that was the economic earthquake. The collapse of the financial markets 60 days later, that was the aftershock.
Trump promised a swift victory, telling reporters Iran will surrender within several days to several weeks. but Iran's military can sustain at least 6 months of high-intensity conflict and is preparing to deploy advanced long-range missiles, suggesting the war is far from entering a de-escalation phase. All of which suggests the United States has found itself in yet another disastrous quagmire, akin to the defeats it suffered in Vietnam, Afghanistan, and Iraq. As the saying goes, history doesn't always repeat, but it certainly rhymes.
Regimes like this that have their power base in fear and intimidation tend to topple fairly quickly.
I'm confident that our troops will be successful, and I think it'll go relatively quickly.
It could last, 6 days, 6 weeks. I doubt 6 months.
You can say 4 weeks, but it could be 6, it could be 8, it could be 3.
We expect to last about 4 to 6 weeks.
Right from the beginning, we projected 4 to 5 weeks, but we have capability to go far longer than that.
The ghosts of the disastrous Iraq War now have congressional members of the US Senate Committee on Armed Forces completely spooked.
I emerged from this briefing as dissatisfied and angry, frankly, as I have from any past briefing in my 15 years in the Senate. I am left with more questions than answers, especially about the cost of the war. I guess I am most concerned about the threat to American lives of potentially deploying our sons and daughters on the ground in Iran.
Iran is now inflicting death on the United States and Israel by 1,000 cuts. It knows that in an asymmetric war, it doesn't need to deliver a knockout blow. It only needs to remain resilient and exhaust its enemies, who will come under increasing pressure to eventually retreat and accept defeat. Compounding Israeli and American woes is the fact that Iran has unlimited options to escalate its response, from involving the Houthi militias to completely shutting off the Strait of Hormuz to activating its sleeper terror cells throughout Europe and North America. The US and Israel, on the other hand, are left with only one option: more bombs, which have not only failed to remove the Iranian regime, but succeeded in uniting the Iranian people. Watch a large crowd in Tehran not even flinch a muscle when an American airstrike landed almost on top of them.
سلام عرض می‌کنم خانم امامی همکنون که من دارم با شما صحبت می‌کنم پدافند داره عمل می‌کنه و ما شاهد اجتماع حضور مردم هستیم در میدان انقلاب. ما نمی‌ترسیم، ما اینجاییم، ما اینجا هستیم، مردم اینجا هستن، حتی در مقابل پدافندها در برابر موشک‌ها ایستادن، مردم ایستادن، اومدن بیعت کنن با امامشان.
We will continue to report these realities, despite the Israel lobby's effort to silence our channel, remembering that it successfully pressured YouTube into demonetizing our channel 6 months ago. Therefore, we kindly ask that you please support our effort to expose and confront the Zionist lobby and other injustices in the Muslim world by becoming a member of our show at patreon.com/CJ Werleman. We can't produce, sustain, and grow the show without your help, and we offer exclusive content and benefits to those who do. But for now, good night, good morning, wherever you are, and stay blessed.